Sometimes small groups are very dynamic in discussion, so I'm hoping that will be the case today, because we're discussing quite an important topic of diversity, inclusion, and equity or equality. And I think we're going to have some really good one presentation and two lightning talks, as I see here. The lightning talks will be online, and the presentation is here. And I think we're going to start with you, Nellinne. So please, you have the floor. Thank you.
Hi, so my name is Nellinne, and I'm from the University of Leicester. So today what I'm going to present is a group project that we conducted with distance learning students, and my colleagues Steele, Kazia, Josh, Barratt, and Torben, Schulz. So they all work jointly with me on this project, so they will be taking part online. So our team, we are the majority of our workload is on the distance learning programs in psychology at the University of Leicester. So we have 3 courses: the MSc Psychology Conversion course and the MSc Occupational Psychology and Psychology of Work program. So we conducted some pedagogical research with our distance learning students as a team on their perceptions of equality, diversity, and inclusion in their experience of learning psychology at the University of Leicester. I'll give you a bit more detail when I get to the method section. So if you look at the background context of this research, that is the EDI concepts, particularly relating to distance learning. So distance learning education, although has been available and accessible for a while now, has become more popular since the COVID pandemic. So due to its accessibility, despite of where people are based on, there is opportunity for a more diverse student body compared to campus-based programs. Then the Office for Students, which is the independent regulator for higher education in England, their aim is to ensure that every student, whatever their background, has a fulfilling experience of higher education that enriches their lives and careers. So particularly, their strategy for 2022 to 2025 focuses on equality of opportunity, which states that students' access, success, and progression are not limited by their background, location, or characteristics. However, there is lack of research and information on postgraduate and distance learning students. For example, the Office for Students Action Plan in 2019 to 2022 lacked information on postgraduate and distance learning students. Also, the courses for students experiencing unequal outcomes are often unclear in the literature. Due to the diverse educational, occupational, and cultural backgrounds, the DL cohort comprises of, the needs of those different groups may be different, and therefore it is important to know the distinction between equality and equity, where equality means each individual or group of people is given the same resources or opportunities, where equity recognizes that each person has different circumstances and allocates the exact resources and opportunities they need to reach an equal outcome. So to understand these factors, dialogue with students was identified as an important first step. So we then developed our research question to investigate what are distance learning psychology students' perceptions of EDI. So then it would make us understand the students' point of view, and also we could then embed EDI concepts into our curriculum development and improve our programs further. So this is part of a two-phase project, and the quantitative and qualitative. So today I'm going to present the results of the qualitative part. To develop the qualitative part of the questionnaire, we first had 3 focus groups, and we asked psychology students how they would define the terms equality, diversity, and inclusion. And then we asked them their experiences of their concepts in the current course and what changes they would like to see in terms of EDI. So those results were then used to develop 7 Likert scale questions and 4 open-end questions about EDI. in both phases of the study, so quantitative and qualitative, participants were given £5 voucher for their participation. So looking at the demographics, for the qualitative part, 62 psychology students took part in the survey. And like I said, we had 3 courses, so that's the distribution for the 3 courses. And with age, the mean age was 37 years, with a range from 21 to 55. 82% identified themselves as female and 18% as male. 63% of them worked full-time and then 18% part-time. 37% of the students had prior DL experience and 63% did not have. If you look at the highest educational qualifications, a little over half of them had BSc and BA, and about 24% had either MSc or MBA. So the survey questions, we had one question about previous education and work background, as you can see, and then so they provided descriptive responses for that. And then with regard to EDI, we had 2 Likert scale questions for equality and 1 open-ended questions. For diversity, we had 4 Likert scale questions, 1 open-ended question. For inclusivity, 1 Likert scale and 1 open-ended question. I'll give you an example of one aspect, so equality. So we included this definition of what the students said about equality and for each of them, so they get an idea about what to say, because what we noted was that students really didn't know the distinction between equality, diversity and inclusion. When we had the focus group discussions, there were a lot of overlapping ideas. So we thought it was better to do it this way. And then we asked them 2 questions, and at the end to ask them to explain about their experiences. So these are the responses for the Likert scale questions. So if you see, a lot of students thought in the current courses that there was a diverse intake of students, and they also thought accessing the knowledge or engaging with the course fairly and equally with no barriers. They felt those were strong points. And regarding having equal opportunity and outcome and course materials representing the diverse needs of the cohort, I think needed more work. And then the descriptive responses, we applied Brown and Clark's thematic analysis, and 4 themes were identified. I'll go through them briefly. So first theme, this theme was a lot about how students started from very different places, but to draw a common baseline over time. The diversity of the cohort was mentioned quite a lot, and students were somewhat surprised about how diverse the cohort was. So a range of different countries, religions, races, occupations, family backgrounds, with a wide range of interest in psychology. Students wanted more opportunities to appreciate the diversity and proposed assessing students' learning needs at the start of the course, so that these needs can be catered during the course, especially to meet the needs of non-native speakers and those who have had different education systems compared to the UK. So these are some quotations from their responses. Then theme 2 was about challenge of work, study and life balance, and this had 2 sub-themes. Preconceptions of distance learning and managing balance, especially because distance learning students choose to do the course while they are working. It is not just work-life balance, but also work, study and life balance. And this was brought up a lot, that achieving this balance was quite challenging. They spoke about the importance of taking ownership and staying motivated due to the distance learning nature of their busy lives. Then challenges and benefits of the program design. So they suggested how the program and course can be designed to cater to those needs of higher stress levels of mature working cohorts. For example, that the discussion boards can sometimes be clunky, time-consuming, and overwhelming when they receive all the responses. To offer alternative multiple sessions or evening sessions or weekend options for live sessions, and also to have breaks between modules because the modules ran one after the other. Theme 3 was about diverse educational and professional experience on learning in the current course. So there were advantages and disadvantages. Those who are on the conversion course who have come from a non-science background find the jump to a master's and the new subject challenging. For non-native speakers, the English language was also a challenge. For mature students, managing family life along with studying, long educational gaps, and IT skills also added to the challenge, especially the research methods module and the aspect of critical evaluation was mentioned. On the other hand, though, their work and life experience gave them opportunity to apply them in their assessments. So the application of theory to practice and vice versa as an advantage was highlighted a lot in responses. Having real experience also made a difference to their current experience in terms of knowing what to expect. So the last thing was development of relationships, interactions, and engagement. There were 2 sub-themes here, support with distance learning from peers and tutors, and individual motivation to engage and interact. So these were based on the relationships, on their opportunities to interact. So bearing in mind that they only meet the cohort and staff in person for the course conference at the beginning of the year, of each year and graduation, that also if they choose to attend. So all other interactions are during personal tutoring sessions, dissertation supervision, module live sessions, discussion board forums, and email correspondence, which is all online. So the positives were that they felt included, inclusive, respected, supported, heard, understood, and that they felt they were treated equally. Some also felt isolated and had feelings of loneliness. While some enjoyed discussion boards, some struggled with online platforms as they did not feel comfortable posting online and felt less confident in online communication. While some explicitly stated that they didn't want more interaction, some stated they wanted more FaceTime interaction with the tutors. So as you can see with the quote here, there is a student-led WhatsApp group and the majority seems to love it. They also like the feeling that they were encouraged by the tutors and not forced to participate in the discussions. And they also seem to take ownership of the importance of engagement. So looking at the results, there were some key discussion points to take away from this. It was evident that distance learning students enter their learning with a broad range of educational, occupational, cultural, and life experiences, which results in a unique experience in terms of EDI. It was also noted that EDI concepts emerged mainly when there were issues around them. For example, students not feeling included or when they felt they were treated differently compared to their peers. So then this brings about that link of the importance of creating a compassionate pedagogy and curriculum development in higher education, where students from diverse backgrounds are accepted for who they are and respected, despite of their differences. Due to the diverse backgrounds of the distance learning students, it is important that program developers and instructors have a clear understanding of the student backgrounds so that they can cater to the differences in order for them to reach an equal outcome. Then managing work, study life, family life was seen as a huge challenge to distance learning students, and therefore higher education institutes should take into consideration those needs of the learners when developing policies and procedures. Another point that was coming up in the data was that many distance learning students are returning to studies after long gaps in their education, and therefore they need help in developing their academic skills. Therefore, encompassing study skills and the stage of induction would be a way of addressing this gap. So although distance learning can be convenient and accessible, it also can be a lonely experience. Therefore, facilitating social relationships among staff and peers while maintaining the flexibility would be another important point to focus. So our next step, we are now carrying out further research into distance learning students' attainment. So this is the quantitative part of the questionnaire. And this is going to be rolled out to the wider university and not only psychology students, but other subjects. So my colleague John, who has conducted distance learning research on psychological capital and social support impact, engagement and burnout with the students, is leading the quantitative part of this research. So we are seeking to examine the role of individual differences, such as demographics, personal characteristics, and study motivation, the impact this has on subsequent study engagement and achievement. The objective is to identify factors that influence engagement and find ways to enhance engagement. For example, developing teaching interventions to enhance material engagement or boost self-esteem. The second aim of this research is to examine whether there are attainment differences based on students' background. So this is with the aim of identifying ways to enhance inclusion and prevent potential attainment gaps from occurring. So yeah, that's the end of my presentation. And
thank you very much. Any questions here in the room?
yes.
What was the driver for the work?
The reason we did this project. Yeah. So one thing was the concepts of EDI were becoming very popular in the wider university. So we really wanted to understand how actually students experience it, because we talk about EDI, but we are not really clear what students know about it and what they expect from us. So we thought having conversations with them would be the first step. And then so we can embed them in the curriculum and also to improve our programs as well, because we have a very diverse cohort as well in each of the programs.
I thought it was quite interesting in relation to theme for relationships and interaction. You made the point that you found that some students were more comfortable discussing course-related information with their peers on outside platforms like WhatsApp. I just wondered, again, your research may not have gone into this kind of detail, but it may be something you have thoughts on generally. Do you think that can cause problems, things like equal access to the platform, incorrect information, student conduct, or is it actually something which can be built on positively?
Yeah, that's a really good point, because those were all student-led groups. It wasn't implemented by us. But we heard from the students, with the focus group especially, some of them, they wanted that platform, like to discuss a lot of things. But then, yes, it would create problems because there would be miscommunications and misinformation going on. So some of the suggestions were, students said, can the staff initiate these groups? We have on Blackboard, we have discussions where we have created threads and said you can discuss your things, it won't be monitored by staff. But students don't feel comfortable doing that, so they have their own WhatsApp groups. So we haven't made a decision as to if we are going to implement these initiated by staff. At the moment, it's happening among them.
We've had similar conversations, and the staff are very definitely, we do not want to have our personal WhatsApp messages remotely involved with students, which I personally think is quite a good boundary to sort of draw, but it's brilliant if they're doing that. I'm quite interested in the next stage, so what are the personal characteristics that you're going to look at?
Yeah, so it's at the moment, John is actually leading that. So we are going to, I think, look at coursework. So there are some average of their coursework, and look at the
Yeah.
So earlier we thought that we could get their consent and then get their coursework average from the modules, but then if you have a university-wide, it would be more complex and unethical as well. So we are now thinking of asking them to provide the coursework average and then look at demographics, their backgrounds, and then look at those. So
Thank you very much for your presentation. But I was wondering about your sample size and thinking about how you got your sample size. You have 82% females and 18% males. Can you please explain how you got this sample size?
So sample size is 62 who responded to the quantitative survey. So out of the 62, the number I said that say it's 68%, then that out of the 62, that percentage was female and the rest of them. So we worked out the percentage.
So it's from the students on the course. So most students on those two modules are female. So they just surveyed the students on the course because specifically about that course, those three courses.
Okay, they responded to.
So it was about the three courses, the three modules.
Yes.
There were 62 students, of which 82% of those are female. So there's a lot more female students on those courses.
So that is that's the whole population of the students.
So they're also responded. Okay. So the cohort numbers are larger, but whoever took part was that, so the final number for analysis.
Was it a similar proportion of male to female on the course in general?
So female numbers are higher, so that's I think common female psychology. Yeah.
And also distance learning, I think.
Yeah. Oh, is that so? Okay, other subjects as well.
I think that was the intern class. So yeah. The intern class.
No, the ones that looked at.
No, the ones who responded to the survey. Yeah, there are some who didn't respond. So these are the ones who respond.
Also the question actually, because some of the things, some of the comments that you had in different things, especially the first two, I think pointed towards the program design as such, the courses and program design. And I was wondering whether you think the results of your study might have some implications in the, you said curricular, but I thought that's maybe we include the TI sort of things in it, but just generally, switching things around, making it, responding to what students have actually said about times, about, taking our time zones, all these things.
So we have started implementing those things. So for example, one thing was about personal tutor meetings, and we also have this, we have embedded study skills into a personal tutoring system where each month we give them a session on a study skills aspect. So say for example, critical thinking. And then all students are invited for a live group session. So taking the comment on board about the timing, so we have said not to schedule any personal meetings or those group live sessions at until 10 o'clock because it's the school pickup time, and then from 2 to 4 again not to use that. So those have been.
So you are slowly taking into account. That's really good because I think your study can really have just because it's hearing the student voice second here.
Yeah, and there are many other aspects as well, like including captions in the lectures and after material.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.